Hey there, and welcome. You know, every big complex language really starts with something simple. And for English, that foundation is just 26 letters. So today, we're not just going to learn them, we're going to master them. This is your first step.
I absolutely love this idea. It's just perfect, isn't it? Language, just like music, is all about expression. Think about it. The letters are your notes, words are the chords you build, and sentences, well, that's your melody. So let's learn how to play, shall we?
All right, so first up, let's get right down to the fundamental building blocks of English.
Just 26. That's it. Kind of seems like a small number, doesn't it? But think about this for a second. Every one of Shakespeare's plays, every mind-blowing scientific discovery, every novel you've ever wanted to read in English, it all starts right here, with these 26 little symbols.
Okay, now here's something that trips up a lot of new learners, and it's totally normal. Some letters sound, well, they sound almost exactly the same. It's a classic challenge, for sure, but we can totally figure it out by paying attention to how we make the sounds.
So let's tackle two of the most common pairs. First up, B versus P. The only real difference is your voice. Seriously, go ahead and put your hand on your throat. When you say B, ba, you should feel a little vibration, right? But for P, pa, it's just a puff of air, no vibration. Let's try it again with V and F. For V, va, feel that? It vibrates. But F, fa, is just air. See? That little vibration is everything.
Okay, so inside that group of 26 letters, there are 5 special ones. I mean, these guys form the very heart of every sound in English. We're talking about the vowels.
So here they are. A, E, I, O, U. These are the 5 core vowels, and what makes them so special is that they're really open sounds. When you say a vowel, nothing, your tongue, your teeth, nothing blocks the air from coming out of your mouth. It's like an open channel for your voice. But you know, English, it just loves to keep us on our toes with little exceptions. So get this, the letter Y can also be a vowel. It's kind of like a part-timer, you know? It just jumps in when it's needed, like in words sky or gym. This right here. This is the perfect way to see how powerful vowels are. So look at the word cat. Now, let's keep the C and T sounds, but just swap out that middle vowel. Change the A to a U, and you get cut, a totally different word, an action. Swap that for an O, and you get cot, a bed. See? The consonants build a frame, but it's the vowel in the middle that gives the word its meaning. And what about all the other letters? Well, if it's not a vowel, it's a consonant. Simple as that. So while vowels are these wide-open sounds, consonants are the ones where you briefly block the air with your tongue or your teeth or your lips. Think about sounds like T, P, or M.
All right, you ready for the fun part? Some letters are kind of like secret agents. They can have more than one sound, more than one identity. So let's put on our detective hats and decode a couple of the most common ones.
Let's start with the letter C. Now, its sound completely changes depending on the letter that comes after it. Most of the time, it makes that hard k sound, you know, like in cat or cold. But if it's followed by an E, an I, or Y, it softens up to an S sound. Think city or circle.
And guess what? The letter G plays by the exact same rules. It's got that hard g sound in words like go and garden. But, you guessed it, when it's followed by an E, I, or Y, it often softens to a j sound, like in giant or gentle. Once you see that pattern, it's a total game changer. Okay, let's dive into one of the most fascinating and, let's be honest, sometimes confusing parts of English. We're going to talk about letters that are written right there on the page, but you don't say them at all. They're completely silent.
Yeah, what's up with that, right? It seems so strange, but silent letters are a huge part of the language. You see them written down, but when you go to speak the word, poof, they just vanish. Let's look at a few examples so you can see exactly what I mean.
So here are some classic examples. You've got the K in no, the H in honest, the B in thumb. They're like little ghosts in the word. A lot of the time, these silent letters are actually like fossils, left over from a time when the words were pronounced differently. They're little clues to the history of the language, which is pretty cool.
So, we've gone over the letters, the vowels, and even some of those tricky rules. The big question is, what's next? Well, the most important part of this whole journey is turning what you know into something you can do. And really, it all just comes down to practice.
And I've got 3 really powerful ways you can do that. First, listen. But don't just listen for words, listen for the music of how people talk. Second, repeat things out loud. You got to build that muscle memory in your mouth and tongue. And third, and this one's huge, record your own voice. I know, it can feel a little weird at first, but trust me, hearing yourself and comparing it to a native speaker is the fastest way to hear where you can improve.
And let's wrap this part up with a really important idea. The goal here is not perfection. It's progress. Every single mistake you make isn't a failure. Not at all. It's proof that you're trying, you're pushing yourself, and you're growing. So be patient with yourself, okay? Just focus on being a little bit better today than you were yesterday.
And that brings us right back to where we started, with that music metaphor. You've now got the basic notes, those 26 letters and all their sounds. The tools are in your hands. So the only question left is, what song are you going to create? What amazing sentences and conversations are you going to build? Thanks so much for joining me.